Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill, folks. Please read the article, share it on all your social media. Also included in there is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC actually sees through with their threat. All right, folks, trigger warning one. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to utilize the headphones, all right? Trigger warning 2, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is very much advised, alright? Okay, so where we left off. First, reference 42 notes that in its literature review, only two articles, reference 40 and 43, consider in any detail the problems associated with aversion in self-injurious behavior or in the severely retarded. You gotta love when, the government continues to not evolve their language. No, we're totally an ally, and you called me the R word. Performative nonsense, I tell you. Okay, so essentially what it's talking about is only two of the clinical papers that the JRC produced that came from alternative sources actually mentioned any regards with the aversion and self-injurious behavior. Further, even those accounts which have been included vary considerably in the adequacy of the information given, in particular deficiencies being lack in the adequate clinical data about the subject or the results of previous treatment and short duration variability in methods of recording of baseline observations. Bearing in mind that self-injurious behavior tends to fluctuate in intensity over time. In other words, we got no data to back this up. Zilch, nothing, nada. No data to back up the observations that the JRC is demanding we take seriously. If you can't corroborate something in science, you put it back on the shelf until you can corroborate it, or if you find out you can't, you put it in the bin where it belongs. That's just normal. If you have a study and there's nothing to back it up, it's a waste of trees. The article also notes the importance of the communicant positive behavioral program in producing positive side effects. So it was saying that study was still emphasizing the very, very early prototype of positive behavioral reinforcement. Finally, the article concludes an answer to the problems associated with aversion will not reach any rapid solution, and it is therefore essential that treated cases are properly documented and reported. Thus, the commenter's reliance on this article as support for its position that ESDs cause few, if any, side effects is not persuasive. Not on any level. Not on any level. On a base level, without mentioning the 1975 studies. You cannot tell me, look me in the eye and tell me that a device that operates at 85 MPa electricity being shot to a child repeatedly is only going to have few, if any, side effects. You want to know why? Because I'm not fucking stupid. I'm a woman who's not only grew up around ERs my entire life, but I have common sense. Okay? Logic would dictate. Let me go Spock on you. Logic would dictate that a device operating on that high amount of electrical frequency being used that much repeatedly is going to have a lot more than just a few side effects. That's just logic, reasoning. Especially from if we apply what we do know from things like police tasers and stun guns and those types of burns, it becomes a very quite clear case of few, if any, side effects, my ass. In particular, when you have reports from ERs. ERs, folks, these are not us crazy advocates just out to get the JRC. These are independent ERs, objective ERs. They have no dog in the fight. Documenting where there's not a single piece of unbruised, cut, or healing piece of skin on a child. That's not few, if any, side effects. Okay? To even try to make that argument and then throw this monkey wrench of a 1975 report in without very obviously rating said report before doing so, I don't know. But it's starting to look like the Chewbacca defense. We're going to go ahead and close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So if you could, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit those comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Smelling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you again in a second. Bye-bye.